Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to Conversations on Care, our Facebook talk show, bringing together our service providers, our clients, our caregivers to help families better understand and cope with aging parents with chronic care needs. My name is Julie Kalana, and I am the proud founder and president of Open Arms Solutions. Open Arms is a home care agency serving the Chicagoland area, focused on inspired home care solutions for seniors with chronic care conditions such as dementia, Parkinson's, and other movement disorders. It is truly our mission to help families navigate through this journey and know that their loved one is living their best life possible. For those watching, if you find these dialogues helpful, please give us a like and a share so that it can reach more people who need it. Our audience is growing and growing, and it's through people sharing, so we really appreciate that. If there's a topic or a question that you'd like to learn more about, write it in the comments section, because we love to get feedback from our audience about information in healthcare that would be helpful. So today's conversation is something I've been looking forward to, and I have here with me some of our incredibly dedicated caregivers, part of our team that I'm very proud to have on our program. I'm going to ask each of them to introduce themselves, and we're going to have a great discussion all about being a caregiver and what it means to be a caregiver. So if you would start us off, Veronica, would you start us off, please, and just introduce yourself and tell us how long you've been a professional caregiver.
Okay, I'm Veronica Moore. I've been a professional caregiver for about 15 years. If we don't count the time when I was 9 and I got paid to take care of my neighbor. Otherwise, it's been my entire life. And I often say it's not what I do, but this is who I am. And I love it.
Great. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Fatimo, could you give us a little bit about your background and how long you've been a professional caregiver?
Yeah, thank you. My name is Fatimo Babawale. I'm from Nigeria. I've been a professional caregiver for the past 9 years, and it's been so wonderful. I have passion for what I do, and I can't even do any other job. I love what I'm doing. Thank you.
That's wonderful. Thank you for that. And then last but not least, Pam.
Hi, I'm Pam. I've been a caregiver for about 10 years, and I just love it. I love helping people. I love taking care of them, and it helps out the families.
That's wonderful. Thank you all. And why don't we just go around? How did you get started in caregiving? Because I'm imagining there's some people out there that are watching that may have wondered how, it's a wonderful profession. How would I even get started? So Pam, would you tell us how did you get started?
I got started because my sister used to do it, and then she got me into it, and then we took care of my grandma when my grandma got sick, and it was just something. At first, I didn't think I could do it, but it turned into something that I have a passion for it.
Yeah, it's I think a lot of people end up in in this, being a professional caregiver or running a professional caregiving agency through a personal experience. And then you start to see the amazing impact that you can have on someone's life by having the well-trained people doing it for the right reasons.
Yes.
And it changes their lives, and the incredible thing that maybe you don't really realize going in, but then discover is how much it changes your own life.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for that. Veronica, what about you?
Kind of a interesting story, I guess. In 1997, my husband had a car accident that appeared to be a very minor accident. He continued his day. He went and played 36 rounds of golf,
Oh,
came
wow.
home, wanted to lay down for a little while, and I couldn't wake him up for dinner.
Oh.
So he had a brain bleed.
Mm,
He survived it,
mm.
but I became his caregiver. And I did that for 15 years.
Oh, my. Wow.
I'm sorry.
There's no reason to say you're sorry. You know what? It's an emotional topic. So being emotional about it is being human. And you know what? We've all gone through that.
And also during that time, my grandmother had a stroke, and I was living in Michigan. She was in West Virginia.
Uh-huh.
And unfortunately, the level of care that she got was definitely subpar. And there wasn't a lot I could do about it because I had my hands full with my husband, also raising a child. And I promised her that I would do whatever I could to make sure that other people got the kind of care that I knew that she deserved and she didn't get. So I do this as a promise I made to my grandma.
That's lovely. I really appreciate that. That's really lovely. Thank you for sharing that.
Mhm.
And Fatimo, how did you get started? What, you've been doing this 9 years, you said?
Yeah, both home and abroad. So I started in Nigeria. I wasn't a caregiver before, but it all started when my father was very ill, and I came from polygamous home. So each children have to be with my father each day. So each time, anytime it was my turn, the care I gave my father was so different. To the extent when my father was ill, when he was okay, he called me. He said, "Fatima, each time you are with me, you are different. The care you gave me is different from the care others gave me." So, when people motivate people, or when they appreciate what you do, it makes you to want to do more. So the passion, I started with the person I love so much, which is my father. So the passion I have for him, it makes me grow into this work. So
Uh,
I have passion for what I do, and the passion is the key, is the fuel, is the gas that drives me to want to be better in this job. So, and I carry it all along. When I now got to America 4 years ago, I didn't have my paper to work as a professional caregiver. So I was doing a private caregiver. So when I got what it takes to join agency, a friend of mine introduced me to Open Arms. And ever since, it's been wonderful working with a great team.
Thank you, Fatimo. It's been
Thank you.
wonderful having you. So our behind the scenes team, Fatimo's having a little connection issue. I don't know if there's an opportunity to help or not. Just an FYI.
I can't hear clearly.
Okay, we'll continue, Fatimo. I
Okay.
think we heard what you said. It was just a little choppy, so I don't know if there's an opportunity there or not. I'm reading the background here. Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that. All of you, thank you for sharing that. So here comes our behind the scenes director of technology.
What is it?
Let's continue the conversation. So caregiving is an incredibly, I heard you all say the
I can't hear
reasons that you got into it, and I so appreciate it. And I will tell you, when you watch Caregivers, like caring for a loved one, and many of you shared that, or you were the caregiver. I watched when my mom needed care. I saw some caregivers that cared for her that really weren't what I'd hoped they would be for her. They didn't really have the heart for it. You could tell it was just a job. And then there were some caregivers that were truly exceptional. And thank goodness more were truly exceptional than not. But I saw the range. And I saw the difference it made. Well, I knew the difference it made for me as the adult daughter. When I knew that there was a caregiver for my mom when I couldn't be there, that I could trust, really had her best interest and cared for her and wanted to give her the best quality of life possible. And I know all of you do that, which makes me exceptionally proud to have you on our team. So what continues to motivate you to stay in this position? Because, you know, openly, there's some days it's not easy, right? I mean, we all have a passion to do this, but some days are easier than other days. So what continues to motivate you to stay in the position? Pam, could you start? Tell us.
What motivates me is the clients. I love seeing them. They love seeing me. It's what brings me. I'm just happy they're happy. When you come in, you say good morning to them, and you just know you're going to have a good day. So just being with them, that motivates me to keep coming back.
I appreciate that very much. And isn't it amazing sometimes with our clients, because when I first started the company, there were occasions where I filled in and took care of people when we were a small company. And I truly missed that. And I can remember knowing that when I was coming in, I was with them and I spent time with them. When I could get a smile or create something that causes them to smile, it made an incredible difference in my life. And I also knew that when I approached them, that I might be the only smile they get all day.
Correct.
And that's incredibly meaningful. I think I heard you say that, Pam, in a different way, but I appreciate that. How about
sometimes
you, Veronica?
When you work at the facility, sometimes we're the only person that they see.
Exactly right. You're the only interaction. You're that opportunity for them to connect, and and that's incredibly important, right? And I hear you say that means a lot to you, and I appreciate that. Veronica.
For me too, it's the clients. So I do a lot of in-home, and knowing that at times I'm keeping a couple together in their home where if we didn't do what we do, they'd be separated. Gives me so much joy to know that I get to keep these people together. And having had family members that needed care, I know too what it means to the families to have somebody that they can trust and that they know that mom or dad's going to be okay while I go to work, because I have to work. But I don't have to worry about that while I'm out of the house for this period of time. Again, it just brings me joy to know that I'm giving other people peace of mind and knowing that they trust me to take care of their loved ones.
That's well said. I appreciate that. I think everyone here is smiling because they appreciate that. I mean, I've had the privilege over the year. I mean, we've helped hundreds and hundreds of families, and when we get a call from an adult daughter or a son or a spouse that says, "You've made such a difference in my family's life and in my life because of the incredible caregivers that are with my mom, dad, fill in the blank." That's what this is all about. So thank you for that. And Fatimo, what continues to motivate you to stay in caregiving?
Yeah, thank you for that question. What motivated me? What is motivated me to stay in this job? Each time I go out to care for our clients, it gives me the ability to dig deeper, to look further, and to learn new things on how to do the right thing at the right time.
Mm.
And it always make me believe there is always continual room for improvement. Thank you.
Oh, Fatimo, thank you very much.
You're
And I
welcome.
think before, when things were a little bit choppy, I think you said you've been in caregiving for 9 years. And did I hear you say, and I think I did, and I know this, you've been with Open Arms for how long?
I joined Open Arm 2019. Let's say 2.5 years now.
2.5 years.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So let's just, did I ask everyone that question? Did
Yeah.
I get it? Okay.
Yes.
So I want to give everybody time to contribute here because everyone's story is so great. Here, well, and there's a couple of questions from the audience here. So I want to make sure we get those. This is an important one. Love for you each to talk about what are the attributes that you all have that contribute and are necessary to be a really exceptional caregiver. What are some of the qualities or the attributes? It's a great question. Who wants to go first?
I think you have to have patience and understanding.
Patience and understanding. I couldn't agree more. Can you describe a little bit why that's important? The patience part?
Because if you have a client, they have dementia, they're gonna constantly keep repeating themselves, and you have to just take it all in and it just keep going, keep moving forward. If they keep repeating yourself, just keep doing it with them.
Yeah, that's so important. And I couldn't agree with you. That's really, really an important quality. What about you, Veronica?
Empathy.
Ah,
I think we all, kind of understand compassion. Empathy takes that a little step further, where you can put yourself in that other person's position and really try to understand their point of view, and especially with our dementia clients, because sometimes they're living in a different era. They're 20 years old, and whatever was happening in their life when they were 20 is their reality. And knowing that and being able to go to that place with them.
Yeah,
and I don't think we can do that without empathy. We have to.
You're so right. Seeing people's worlds through their lives or through their lens.
Yes.
Right. From their perspective is empathy and incredible. I couldn't agree with you more. It's an incredibly important topic. What about you, Fatimo? What do you think?
Yeah. What I think is that, we work with people that have challenges. So to keep them in this role, I want them to have passion, to have love for them. They shouldn't take whatever they say personal. So if they don't take it personal, they will go a long way. And they should take care of them as if they are taking care of their own parents. So I think that would go a long way.
Yeah, you're right. It's hard sometimes though, right? I mean, I remember, but you're right. It's really important not to take things personally, because when you're caring for someone who has dementia, for example,
Yeah.
and I'm going to ask you all to start thinking about some examples of, when they lash out, you can't take it personal because it's not them. It's what they're going, it's their disease.
It's disease, yeah.
And it's an easy thing to say and harder thing to do. But professional caregivers do that, right?
Yes.
And it's an incredibly important quality. Did everyone answer that question? I think you did all. Okay. What do you do to prevent burnout? This is a question from the audience. It's a really important one. How do you prevent burnout in professional caregiving? it's a big issue right now in the industry overall, right? With
Yes.
COVID and all the personal challenges we all have in our lives. What do you do for yourselves to prevent burnout? I'll share you with what I do, but I want you guys to go first.
I think trying to keep things balanced.
Okay, what does that mean?
That when you go home, you leave your client where they are and trust that they are in good hands. And you find things to do that you enjoy.
Mm,
And for me, I have wonderful people in my life that recharge me, that give me back love and compassion.
wonderful.
And like I said, it recharges me so that I can go and give that to my clients, and to find those things that kind of recharge you and bring joy into your life. And those moments when um, this job can be very difficult. Um, I took a couple of months off this year because I needed some time to, you know, I was mourning the loss of a client, and I needed to allow myself that time. So
Well,
it's
that's
a,
really important, and that really is. It's a lot about self-awareness, right? Paying attention to yourself, really paying attention to yourself, and knowing what you need. Um,
yes.
so, uh, and getting people in your life and things to do to recharge you. So I appreciate all those things. What about you, Pam? How do you prevent burnout?
And just like Veronica said, when you leave, just try to leave it there. And then when I come home and I see that little boy, just that smile on his face, it just, and we just do our thing, and I'm good the next day.
That's lovely. So you have some warmth and love that you go home to, you focus on that,
Yes.
and that keeps you going. That's
Yep.
that's lovely. How about you, Fatimo?
Yeah, to prevent burnout, you have enough rest, you eat good balanced food, you take exercise.
Oh,
So when you do exercise, you exercise yourself and you relax yourself. I think some of the caregiver, they overwork. They work nights, they go in the morning, they do that. They don't have enough rest. So they have to have enough rest and eat balanced diet and do more
that's
exercise. Yeah,
I think that's very wise advice. I think that, and this is really in healthcare now. There's a lot of burnout.
yeah.
There's something called compassion fatigue, and it's. Can you all relate to that? What compassion fatigue is? You're caring for people, and um, and if you don't take care of yourself and you don't
Exactly.
have that balance,
Yeah.
that's a recipe for burnout. So it's really great to hear you all say that. I will say that exercise and diet are really important to me to help prevent my burnout. It's not professional caregiving burnout, but it's preventing burnout from running a home care company. And I do, and I'm very, and I don't know if you all have started to do this. But meditation, mindfulness, um, is something eating well, exercising, and meditating are things that are part of my balance to prevent burnout. And um, I think it sounds like just having a plan, right? Paying attention to yourself, Veronica, knowing what you need, and then just having that balance. Because I know I've seen it, and I don't, for the folks that are watching, caregivers are incredible, motivated people to take care, and I've seen where they just don't give themselves enough time, and they don't take care of themselves and don't have enough of that balance in their lives. So thank you all for sharing that. I'd love for you all to share, what are some of the more meaningful moments you've experienced working as a caregiver? Veronica, you want to go first?
As I said, just yeah, I had to take some time off recently because I had been with this wonderful lady for 3 years. She had an amazing family, and I became part of that family. I still, talk to her daughter, but that was one of the things helping her daughter was struggling with watching her mom slip away over this 3-year time period. And, she was grieving and she kind of got stuck in that little anger phase for a while. And being there for her and letting her know that everything she felt was okay, but that she had to let herself feel it, not to stuff it down, feel it. And so this lady passed away last February. We were still under, a lot of COVID precautions, and they were allowed to have 25 people at her service, her memorial service. And I was one of the people on that list. And knowing what a large family they had and what a large church family they had, that they put me on that list of 25 people to get to say that final goodbye was so meaningful to me, because like I said, I did become part of their family, and that to me was acknowledgement of that you are our family, and we want you here because we know that you're grieving the way that we are.
Yeah, that's exceptional. And it's amazing the connection that happens with families when we do this work, when we do the kind of job I know you did for that family, right? The empathy you showed, the love. That's lovely. Thank you for sharing that. Pam, how about you? What are some of the more meaningful moments or moment you've had as a caregiver?
I did have a client a long time ago. She was up in Gurney and she was passing away, and the family was in the kitchen and they were doing their own little grieving, and while she was slowly slipping away, and I would just look at her and tell her, we're going to get you dressed up, we're going to do your hair, you're going to go meet your husband. And just hearing the family appreciate how you're taking care of her, that to me is a lot, because sometimes we don't get to see the family and their appreciation, because after they're done, then we don't see them anymore.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Fatimo, what about you?
Yeah, it happens last year, April. I was working right here at the North Shore places here with call her Mary. So when she was passing away, I was in that shift. I did night shift that night. So no one was beside her except me. So when she passes away. So the daughter was so appreciative. They said, "Oh, Fatima, you did what we're supposed to do. So you were there when our mother was passing away." And I've never experienced such, because I was always afraid of ghosts, dead body. How will I stand it? So for me to stay in the room with her gave me so much courage and boldness. So I think it's a sweet experience. It was a sweet experience for me.
Ah, thank you. I remember, and again, really, truly, what inspired me to start this company was at the very end of my mom's life when she was in hospice and she was an inpatient. Uh, at that point, it was the Midwest Care Center. Um, the unbelievable caring and love and compassion from the CNAs that would turn her and just be there for her. And, you can't fake caring that way. It meant everything for me. It meant that my family and I could go down the hall for a moment because we knew they authentically cared for her. And the other thing that I want to share is that over the years that I've had the company, and hasn't happened recently, but when we get invited to go to the funeral or or we come to a funeral and I hear what you described, Veronica, I hear the thank you, that what a difference your team made in my family's life. I wish everyone in the company, I've said this a lot to my team back in the office who don't get to see this, um, the the incredible difference that you all and caregivers make in people's lives. So we are out of time, actually. Um, See, I told you all it would go very
It
fast.
did.
Thank you all for joining. Thank you for everything that you do for our clients. We so appreciate you all. And have a great day. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you
You
so
too.
much. Thank you.
Thank you.